What up? What up? What up? We are back.
Art of Hustle podcast.
Did you just jump my line?
Yeah.
I like it.
Did you?
Taking ownership. Co-host, producer.
Yeah, we.
Hannah's role is now elevated to producer of the Art of Hustle podcast. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, producer, what are we talking about today?
We were talking about our fails and our wins.
Ooh, okay. In
And
what aspect?
It can be just as an individual. It can be in marriage. It can be in parenting. It can be in business. It can be in friendship. Any and all.
Dang, that's a big one.
Yeah. And just like think about the things that you learned from. You know, we're not going to regret anything, just some aspects that we have learned from. And then some areas that we've like looked ourselves in the mirror and pat ourselves on the back and been like, dang, we did that, you know?
So, my analytical mind goes to a failure first, right?
100%.
And it definitely is a theme that I've seen in business, marriage, parenting.
Okay.
Can you guess what it is?
I would say, like, is it one specific thing?
It's a concept.
Action and perfection.
Oh, close, but no.
Okay.
Micromanaging.
Oh.
I've definitely had to learn how to let go and trust processes and people to execute operationally. Whether it's been business, raising kids, home life, all the things.
Okay, we need a specific example so our listeners know a way that Cornelius Edison micromanages.
Well, I think it's important to note that for most of my life, it was like on me to produce. And so like I obviously can control myself and be self-disciplined, do all the things. When you start relying on other people, like this is my thought process, they are just simply not going to do it the way I would execute it. I think it's fair. That's a fair thought process, fair judgment, fair whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So the art of like letting go and trusting that somebody's 100%, I'm going to say this sounds be correct, but it's good enough, was a very hard thing for me to like digest. Because for football, it was like, when you do a good job, when the person next to you does a good job. Like, it's very simple. You don't really know in business or kids, unless it's like a big, big, big mess up. But somebody's good enough for a long time could suck, And so to let go and to relinquish that control and like give people power. For example, like the first few trainers I hired, like I was on them so hard. Like
You would have them like shadow you for so long.
y'all gonna see how this go.
Yeah, you're like, you need to be exactly how I am.
Watch how I'm cueing it. Watch how I'm moving it.
Right.
Watch what music I'm playing.
Yeah.
Watch how I'm saying all that.
Which, yeah. I mean, you can go into like that's not technically bad depending on the vibes that.
Okay, so that was the intro. The issue was when there had to be corrections. I did not have the communication skills to understand how they understood information. So it took me a lot of failing of communication for it to be like understood. So like now having processes and order and structure, it's very simple. It's a fifth grader can read it. And so if you're not held to this fifth grade standard, then you can't be a part of. But back then, not having the business experience, it was just all off of just like face-to-face conversation, emotion, demonstration, accountability. So that was kind of the business part. And I remember one thing that came to mind, I hired a trainer and I would always write push-ups, like I'd write it out on the board. And this trainer in particular would write P.U. And I'm like, yo, just write push-ups. like straight up said to him. And looking back on it now, Like, it's not that big of a deal, but like in my head at that point, I was like, nah, this got to be like look a certain way.
Yeah.
But that's just like my standard for excellence and like detail and all that. So that was business parenting. You could probably test for that more, but I was very conscientious of everything early on. Like I think most parents are, but just the accountability and the probably just the communication with the micromanagement.
Yeah.
So management, communication. I have had to fail a lot of times to get to the point now.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of times it's like the mom is a micromanager. Like, I know how to do all this. And like, no, you're not doing that diaper the right way. Or no, you're not doing bath time. In our household, Cornelius was the one
laying the law.
Yeah, like, no, you don't do it like that. Or if you did it like this, it would be better. I'm like, and it would drive me absolutely bonkers. Like, but most of the time he was right. Like, he did have a better way. But I didn't want, like, it really, like,
You didn't want to empower me to keep doing that.
no. Yeah. I was like, and all, like, granted, the way that I was doing it was totally fine. It was fine. Maybe it wasn't the absolute best way, but it was going to get the job done. It was how, like, I did it. I remember, especially with the boys, like, you knew the boys better than I did early on. Like, you figured them out faster. And so there's definitely a lot. And that was our first, like, go around at parenting and doing all that. So you were definitely on my ass, and it drove me crazy. But
I wasn't that. I was bigger on like routine for sleep.
Baby, it was like it was early on. It was like really everything.
I think, yeah. I'm not trying to explain why, but I was definitely in a traumatic state, in like a fearful state.
Yeah,
especially with the boys.
Yeah,
probably business too. Honestly, I was so fearful. Like,
yeah, you were definitely like hanging on to everything like so tightly.
I think with business, because it was literally on my shoulders to do everything. Coming out of COVID and seeing red and numbers, like,
yeah,
and then kids almost dying.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not trying to. I think talking about it now.
Okay.
Talking about it now, I'm understanding why I was like that.
Right, and yes, and you're like fresh out of football where everything is so like analyzed and analytical, and you have to fix anything that's at all broken. And I was like, damn.
Yeah. Shout out to the NFL. Shout out to COVID.
Yeah.
You've created some things I'm addressing in this being. Anyways, enough about me. Give me an example of something that you've done well at. Let's make it positive up in here.
You picked failure.
Oh, I know. That's what my brain works. I'm sorry. Here to get better every day. But break it down to us. What you got?
Something that I've won at. I would say, looking back on the last 29 years, something that I have done really good at is being able to live anywhere. I've lived in a lot of different states, some with friends, some without friends. We moved to Bend, really not knowing anybody. And I adapt very easily. As long as I'm with you, I kind of take things as they come, and I really try and like sink in and thrive wherever I am. And obviously the latest one is moving here to Bend, Oregon. And a lot of times I think when you remove environments from people, you kind of really see there's no fluff.
Who they are.
Yeah, you really get like who they are, because there's nothing for them to like cling on to. And I've really been like come into my own and made friends. I've like kept my old friends, my like best friends, but I've made new friends and created a community here that feels good. So like looking back, I think that's been a win for me, that I've never lost myself.
That's a bar. How hard would it be now to do that with kids?
I think some aspects would actually be easier
Explain.
because everybody says like wait until your kids get into school because then you have automatic friends. Like your kids are hanging out doing play dates, so then you're meeting these people that are all in the same stage of life. So I almost think it would be a little bit easier because in a way I would piggyback off my kids' friendships.
That sounds way harder to me.
Really?
Yes. I think when we did all that moving around before kids, like it was just us and we were adults and we could like discuss it, address each other's emotions, like talk about the pros, cons. And we had our dog Chubb, so it's just like
Chubbies.
give him some food in his his bed and the ball, he was good to go.
See, I need this is where like you and I differ. I need some sort of like bridge connector to like I'm not that socially outgoing as to where like I can walk into a room and like start socializing with people. Like I need something to cling on to make that connection. And then once that connection is made, the conversation is so easy for me. But you like
Yeah, I don't need that.
yeah, you can like go in and like just start like small talk really with anyone. And
Shout out to my dad.
yeah, it really is, Vincent. Like it's so like natural for you. So I like that little.
Yeah, I
Little
think it'd
gap.
be harder now because I worry about the kids. Like this is all they would know, all they have known, and then if there was a change, like in my head, it's like how are they going to respond to that?
Yeah, yes, and well, that's a whole nother thing. It's like if we were to ever move, changing the environment for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't even think I would be able to process it myself because I would be more concerned about their comfortability and their like what they're going through than what I'm necessarily going through.
Let's talk about a failure of yours, or you said a failure was the original question. Failure.
Yeah, fails.
Failure sounds bad.
Yeah, I mean it's okay to say something's bad. Not everything has to be good, but I would probably say one thing that I like think back to a lot is my senior year of college. Cornelius was he knew I was the one that he was going to marry. Or maybe, I think it was the end of maybe my junior year. And you knew I was the one, and you went out ring shopping without me really knowing. You kind of went.
Nah, you definitely knew.
Maybe I can't.
Play that.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, marriage was getting brought up, and I freaked out. I did not have the maturity to like realize what I was feeling. And so what I did was end everything very quickly, very abruptly, because I couldn't necessarily like, you knew I was the one. And I was like, I don't know if he is or if he isn't. But like the fact that I don't know 100%, that like really freaked me out. And I think I was just young, and I knew I still had like a whole nother year of college, and it just all kind of freaked me out. And I remember like telling you, I don't know if it was in person or on the phone or something, but I remember like saying to you, like, I can't see myself walking down the aisle to you. And like, that really,
were balling. I remember that. You were balling.
Yeah, I'm mad at myself for that because like now, like where we're at now, like I literally can't imagine my life without you. And I didn't know you went ring shopping because I remember in that conversation, you were like, well, like I literally just like took my best friend and went ring shopping, and
you found out afterwards.
Yeah. And anyways, all of that, I wish it obviously didn't change the outcome. Like God knew that we needed to be together, but it definitely, that was like a growing time for both of us, that those next couple months, like navigating all of that. But it's definitely is like one of my like failures in my mind is like telling my current husband that like I could not ever see myself walking down the aisle. Like that's like rude. I feel like. So I'm sorry.
Nah, I think if we got married, then we would not. Yeah, that would have been good. We both have some maturing to do.
Yeah. Okay. I've never like heard you actually say that.
Well, I guess we never talked about this.
I know. I kind of was like, once we got back together, like, I should like forget that thought ever happened.
Yeah. Was that like summertime?
It was, yeah, summertime going into senior year because
That's
then
right.
legit 1 year later we were married.
Was it really 1 year? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That was a wild year.
Yeah.
We've had some wild years.
We have.
Yeah, I don't think we both had to separate for that time.
Yeah, it was good. We did a lot of like growing and maturing, and we got
Isolation.
back together, we were both better versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
Which that's why I like tell people now, like breakups and whatever. I'm like, my mom would always say, honey, if it's meant to happen, like it'll be, like if it's meant to be, it'll be. And I like hated when she'd tell me that because I'm like, we're broken up, like we're done, like it's obviously not meant to be. And sure enough.
All right, so let's talk about that real quick. So you broke my young heart. Cue tears. Who was the first person texting after that breakup?
I literally don't know. Do you know? Was it me?
Mm-hmm.
What?
I was off to Chicago a month later, focused on my solo dolo NFL career. Over at training camp. It was a Snapchat. Went to my phone in my locker room after practice. Oh, what do you know? Hannah Snapchatting. Miss you. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm going to roll my eyes. Pretty sure like my locker man was like, remember that girl I was talking about? Yeah, this is her.
It is. This is like a total side note. Yeah, my parents are probably going to hear this, but that's okay. We started talking a little bit, and then you were in Chicago. You flew me out because you were like playing in a game, and you were staying in the.
I'm retired now. So.
Can I say this story?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was staying in the team hotel before the night of the game. All the like players go and they get their own hotel room, but it's very strict. Like they want them to like get game focus.
We got top flight security.
Yes. So they have like security guards like on the floor. You can only have to like show your player back, like, you know, all this stuff. So I didn't necessarily know the extent of all this. All I knew was like, here I was in Chicago and I hadn't seen Cornelius. I wanted to see him and he was in a hotel. I was like, all right, well, he's like, you can just come stay in the hotel with me. I'll figure it out. I'm like, all right. So he, like, I forget exactly how it happened. No. Okay. So we're in the hotel. He's like, okay, good. You're going to get into the elevator. And my buddy Mike is going to like help you just like do what he says. It's like, all right.
Let me preface by saying, I think it was my second year.
Yeah. Second.
My second year in Chicago. So by this time, I'm like on the team. I know everybody. I got some older vets who have pulled this maneuver before with their wives, girlfriends, whoever they meet. And so there's a whole protocol to get this done. And I was telling Mike, I was like, hey man, I'm trying to like figure out a way. He said, oh, bet. Just at this time, do this, and this. Give me a call. We'll make it happen.
So, and Mike is what, 6'8"?
6'8", 320.
Huge. Just like this huge man, which is good because I'm 6'1". And I didn't know this, but we were going to have to try and hide me, which is not the easiest thing. So I get in the elevator. Mike says, okay, I don't remember the floor numbers. He's like, I'm going to get off at floor 5. You're going to go up to floor 6. You're going to get off, go into the staircase, go down to floor 5, wait until I knock on the door, and you're going to stay right behind me when you open up that door and stay super quiet. I'm like, what is happening? So sure enough, he gets off floor 5. I go up to floor 6, get off, find the staircase, go back down. I hear a knock, 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 opens the door. there's a hallway, and at the end of the hallway is a security person sitting at the table. And so I like get right behind him, and we shuffle. Corn was like maybe 2 doors in, like
Into the hallway.
yeah. And so he was right there. Mike knocks on the door opens up. I slide in, door shuts. I don't even say anything to Mike. And just staying there is Cornelius. I'm like,
I'm like, what up? Got some room service. What's up?
exactly. And then they like do room checks. So it was like a little bit of time had gone in, and Corn's like, oh crap, room checks are coming. So he went in. I hid somewhere. He like went in, turned the shower on, like went into the bathroom. They like knock on the door, like open up the door. He's showering, close the door, and like go on. I'm like, I'm a rule follower. I'm like, we are so breaking the rules on this one.
If they would have found out, I would have got fined so much money.
Which you never told me any of this, which is a good thing, because I definitely would have not been okay with that. And then it was like, then I had to figure out, you got up and like the next morning, like you had to go do things. So I then had to sneak out and like, you were like, just go, like, I'll tell you when it's clear. Cause like when the security person wasn't there, and I had to like dart across to the staircase and then like take the stairs down. It was just a whole thing, but we didn't, to the best of my knowledge, we did not
Nope.
get caught.
Smooth sailing.
Yeah, that was a total.
That was wild times.
Yeah, that was okay. Back to fails and wins. What is a win for you?
I think a win for me is integrating work-life balance. I love this debate in our generation in social media of like having this work-life balance thing. And I've really just created a lifestyle of hard work. So from when I wake up to go to bed, I'm just working hard. And just again, having that diversity in my schedule, I can like just attack wherever my feet are at. And I feel like I'm really like settling into a season of like hard work, whether it's at the gym, whether it's with the youth, whether it's talking to people, socializing for X, Y, and Z, whether it's being a husband, being a dad, being a son, being a friend. Like I really can just like settle in wherever I'm at and give it my 100% attention. And like it hasn't always been that way. Like there's been times I'm at the gym thinking about home, or I'm at home thinking about the gym. I can just like compartmentalize really well, and then it's really just like attack from when I wake up to go to bed. So that's been something that's been super satisfying, because like this life now that is full of grace and just acceptance, and just honestly not trying to do too much, because what I'm doing is exactly what I should be doing. So I've been proud of myself to get there, because it's taken a lot of time and a lot of like tweaking and kind of sliding the schedule around to figure out how to balance myself out. So I have it really good right now, and I'm just going to keep sitting in that and just keep attacking for as long as I can while we're in this season, and just loving the season I'm in. So
yeah, you've been doing a good job of that. I
appreciate it. You've been great for encouragement of helping me do these things and not needing me home right away to like, get kids down or do X, Y, and Z or whatever. You've allowed me the opportunity to freelance in our lifestyle a little bit, which has been very much appreciated.
That's because we've gotten better at communicating what we need. So instead of like maybe thinking like, it used to be like, oh, Cornelius is just off doing something, but I'm over here like tired doing this. It's like when you tell me like, hey babe, I'm feeling this way and I need like some time. It's like, heck yeah, go. Like you need that. You deserve that. Like I got this. I can do this. I can hold the fort down for a couple more hours. Like it's not a big deal. Like it's just as the communication part of it totally allows me to switch my mindset on it.
I think also I literally send you my schedule every day.
Which helps so much.
I think that's a big help.
Yeah. So yeah.
Because you're like, damn, he doing a lot.
I know. It's never that I question if you're doing a lot. It's just like.
There are some years you didn't understand
I
You
think
didn't fully
I think it was
grasp what
I
I was on.
think that what was happening is home life was very, very hard and gym life was very, very hard. And I was holding down the fort, you were holding down the gym, and we both were just
Missing out on each other's hard.
yeah, we didn't even have time to think about it because our hard was so hard.
Yeah. We were trying to survive our own hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say another, like, for me, another win is motherhood is so hard. It's one of the hardest things. Getting pregnant, doing pregnancy, dealing with whatever pregnancy you were given, and then bringing children into the world and like being their sole provider, and like you lose yourself for a mom. Like you lose yourself for a little bit. And it's like there's this like lady on Instagram, and she's like calls it like getting your pink back, because like a flamingo, I guess, when have you heard this? Like a flamingo, when it loses its, or when it has a baby, it loses its pink. And it like, I don't know if it like gives its pink to its baby. I don't know all the details, but
This can go one of many ways.
then after like a little bit of time, the mom flamingo gets her pink back. Her color comes
Gets
back.
her snapback.
Yes, yeah. And like it just is like proof that like it's a season, like that really challenging part of motherhood where you feel like you've completely lost yourself and you're never going to be yourself again. It like comes back and you get your pink back. And with your support and your like love and encouragement in our community, and honestly like the graciousness of our kids, like our kids are dope. Like I have gotten my pink back, and that's a huge win for me.
How long did it take you? How long? You're saying post Ava?
Yeah. It took me, I would say year and a half after Ava. Like after knowing we were done having kids, it was about a year and a half. I would say a year and a half, maybe even two, of like, and it's like the body part, yes, is one thing of like, yeah, kind of your new normal body and like what that is. But for me, it's so much more. Like it's been so much more of
Mentality.
the mental,
Yeah.
and like allowing myself to truly sit and think, what does Hannah want? And like, what do I want to do? And what impact do I want to make on this world? And what kind of mom do I want to be? What kind of wife do I want to be? And like, it has taken a lot of work and a lot of time. But I can truly say I've gotten my pink back.
That's lit.
Yeah.
I'm proud of us for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you for like working out that.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking as you talk, like, Ava's only 2.5.
I know. Yeah.
Like that first year was fun, crazy, chaotic.
First year, oh my gosh, I don't even know what happened. First year of Ava's birth. Like boys, yeah, boys are 2, Ava's 0 to 12 months.
Yeah, I feel like the boys' first year was just like scary.
Yeah.
Ava's first year was just chaotic.
Yeah.
And then after she turned 1, it was like, oh dang, like we have a little bit of grip on this.
Yeah.
But once she turned 2, it definitely has flipped a whole new switch.
Yeah.
Where we're like back in our elements and like everything's restabilized.
Yeah.
And I feel like you saying that, like I had to place a lot of my wants, needs, desires on the side as far as like my ability to like work my ass off, focus on my body, do what I want to do, kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And like now I feel that's starting to come back, like kind of some of my career goals, my athletic body goals. I get to like start exercising on these things a little bit more now because like you have resettled and got your pink back.
Yeah.
So I want to get my blue back.
Oh.
Bars. Hey, somebody slugging that. Trademark that.
Next
When
podcast,
a whale.
Corn's gonna have like a shirt with a whale on it. Get my blue back.
When a whale becomes a dad, he turns white and gets his blue back.
I love you.
I love you too. But for real, I feel like, I mean, for the dad, obviously it's a lot different. But I feel like I'm starting to get my dad energy back, which I'm pretty excited about.
Well, I think you go into like a protective mode. Like
Yeah,
the
dang.
the husband, the dad is the protector. And so like when you see your, one of your most prized possessions in the, I don't know if a wife's a possession, one of your most like prized thing.
Sure,
Yeah.
theoretically speaking.
It's like you have to put your own self aside to protect them, to make sure that they're going to be okay, that they're going to make it through. And you've had to do that for me. Like I hit some low points.
Yeah, I've been very protective over energy.
Yeah.
Becoming a mom, integrating business, like I was very
Yeah.
like motherhood. I knew you're gonna be good. I didn't really worry too much about that. I definitely worried about the motherhood plus aspect of it,
Yeah.
because being in the trenches of the business, I knew what it takes to make it function and operate and grow and succeed and maintain all the things. And so like I was very, very adamant of keeping you away for as long as I could until you said I'm going in. I was like, all right.
Yeah. Well,
I'll see you at home.
Yeah. I think that it was you knew my like people pleasing side, and like you knew the management side of people in business, and you knew that was going to be like very challenging for me to like figure out how I was going to like
Compartmentalize all
yes,
that.
like be a business owner, but then also love people and like want the best for people and want to please people. And like I there was a lot of like maneuvering through that I had to figure out for myself, and I'm still figuring out. There's still some days where I'm like, wow, that was a really hard day, and like I don't really know if I feel like a great person at anything.
Yeah.
Because I just was like, but it's like when
That's really how it is.
but when you like take a step back, you're a great person.
But do you really though? I feel like there were so many days where it was like, wow, I was so burnt out at the gym. Wow, I'm so burnt out at home that I'm not contributing anywhere. That's just like, this just kind of sucks. And then you have the next day is great. You're like, all right, this isn't too bad.
But I definitely like in my mind know I am a great person.
Yeah. Like, I know that too, but I'm saying, but like the feeling of it doesn't always feel great.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like, having 5 years of parenthood and 5 years of business, like seeing the correlation of growth of our family and our business. And like, I've lived the story of our business and like lived the story of our kids, and like just seeing how happy and healthy our kids are, and then tracking like the numerical value of business, and like seeing when I was at my low point, what the business looked like.
Yeah.
The transition of you coming into the business, what that looked like. And then you getting your pink back and me getting my blue back. I'm so using that all the time. But just seeing what that looks like together, that combination and that strength, and just being there for both of our kids, for the business and for each other, like how much we can glow together.
Yeah. No, and it really like I don't mean for this to sound arrogant at all. We hear a lot like you guys are a power couple, and like it's true. Like, and why are we a power couple? And we're a power couple because we empower each other.
Yeah.
Like we want each other
1,000%
to be great. And so like our day to day like helps support the other person being great. And like you were not going to be great until I got my pink back, and I was not going to be great until you got your blue back.
Yeah.
And of course, like God, like and Jesus, like his love, like encircles that, like holds that. It's like the glue that holds that together. But it really is. I think we're just stepping into a new season of life where it's going to be interesting.
It is. It's really fun. A long time ago in marriage, I heard there's no such thing as 50-50. And that has always stuck with me, because I think for so long, I don't even know if I wanted 50-50, but like, it's not even like a 1-to-1 ratio.
Right.
And so once I understood that, like, Monday, I might be 80% kids. 80% work. And you're 20% kids. Next day is flip flop. I understood that there's going to be an interchangeable aspect to every day with our life. And then, you sprinkle in grandparent support, you sprinkle in school time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's all like I kind of think of a pie chart. In Mondays, X, Tuesdays, B, and like it just has all these different kind of adjustable scales that it's so fun to tweak and work on.
Yeah.
Because when you like slide to that perfect ratio, it's just a nice piece of sweet potato pie.
Are you gonna trademark that one too?
Nah, that's for the people. Get my blue back. Hey, I'm doing something with that one. That's that dad manure provider energy.
Have you had any dad fails?
Absolutely.
Like what's one that like sticks out?
That's a good one. Dad fails. Well, are you talking about like physically dad fails? Or like what kind of dad? I got a dad fail. We gotta figure out a way to add some video into this. When the boys were like 6 months old.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So when the boys were young, we just found a way to sleep, and
Not safe.
we just found a way. And so the kids had these like this double boppy pillow, and for those
It was
parents,
called a Twinsy pillow.
Twinsy pillow.
Shout out! It was game changer.
It was lovely. So imagine those airplane neck pillows, but there's two of them, and it's like that's where like babies can like rest in safely. So the boys love sleeping on these things. They love sleeping together, and I think we were trying to transition them to their cribs from our bed, but they didn't want to go on like some single ones. So we had the Twinsy pillow, the double airplane pillow. We had some blankets stuffed around it.
In their crib.
But they didn't roll around and stuff. They just like slept on their back.
Yeah.
Or on their chest, right? There's two options.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was a setup. And it's about 4 a.m. That baby monitor goes off. And it's my turn to get up. And for those y'all who know me, I need my sleep. I love my sleep. I don't function well without sleep. So it was one of those things where like Hannah slaps me and says, baby, you said, baby, you are so wonderful. You're the best father. Can you just please take care of the boys? And I graciously, half awake, said, yes, I got this. So I went, did my routine, went to their bathroom, prepped 2 bottles, got the things ready.
You had to do 4 ounces of water, 2 scoops, put the lids on, shake, prop the bottle up.
You still remember. Yeah, so that's when you prep the bottle up, get it snug in their mouth. They would just drink it. Then they would smack it out and fall asleep. Perfect. I set up one of the boys, got him all situated, put in his mouth. The other one, I forgot to twist the cap on all the way. So when I went down to put it in his mouth, just 4 ounces of milk just flooded his face. I snapped like 100%.
Oh shit!
It was just 4 a.m. chaos in the house. It was bad.
But it was caught all on camera. So maybe we can pull up
the video.
Yeah, that would be funny.
But that was probably my biggest dad fail.
Yeah.
Of like the physical.
That's not bad at all.
I know.
That's pretty impressive.
I'm a very cautious dad.
You are. Yeah. Which is good.
I've probably given out a couple spankings out of frustration, which I didn't feel the best about.
I know.
Other than that, I can't really remember. I'm just a great blue dad. What about you? What's a mom fail? You've had a few more than me.
I have like a list of like, No, I would say like one that sticks out is I took all the kids to the park. Boys were about 2. Ava was like 6 months. And boys were still like very much unstable on their feet. And I like went to this new park that was a little bit higher up, which I didn't really think much of it, but I being cautious, I like climbed up to the top and I like stood. There's like one of these openings where like if they like managed to fall, it was a long ways down. So I'm like, let me stand in this opening so they don't like, we can just take that risk out of there. I have Ava strapped to me. Boys are running around. And sure enough, Isaiah comes trotting along and I go, Isaiah, like, watch out, be careful. And like he kind of like looks at me, loses his step, ends up like hitting me, and that's what knocks him off the edge, the worst, highest possible part, like the area I was trying to protect, knocks him, and he falls like probably 15 feet, just flat on his back. And I look over the edge, and he's looking up at me, and like the wind's totally knocked out of him. He's not breathing, and I just am like, we need to call 911. Like his spine is broken, and I have Ava strapped to me, so I'm trying to climb down this rock wall with Ava attached to me. And of course, all these moms are looking at me, and Silas now is like at the top looking down from where his brother just fell. So I'm like, Silas, like I'm trying to get him down off. I like pick up Isaiah, and I'm like, just please, like move your body, do something to like let me know everything's okay. And he kind of like coughs and like starts screaming. But he like grabs me with his arms. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's not paralyzed. Okay. Like by this time, moms have kind of come around, and I just remember like I was so shaken up and like felt like the worst mom in the world. And I'm sure like if you like saw that scene, you'd be like, why is this mom here at this park that's meant for like 10-year-olds with her 3 children, 2 and under? Like, what is she thinking? I definitely like ate a piece of humble pie that day because I felt like I was kind of invincible. And then I realized like, yeah, there's some things that I definitely need to ask for help on. And if I want to go to the park at this season of life, I need to have another pair of hands with me to like help assist me. So that was definitely like, that was a mom fail in my mind. But yeah, Ava's pulling a picture on top of her face, a glass broken on her face. Had to take her to the emergency room, and she now has this like fat scar right on her forehead. Been paddleboarding a kid. I think it was Isaiah. He accidentally fell off the paddleboard into the river and had to save him. We have had a couple mom fails, but
I love you.
everyone's like not too bad for having twin boys.
No, for real.
It's
there's been a lot of
knock on
times
wood, but
that there could have been some very, very, very bad situations.
mhm.
A dad win though.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Do you remember when Zay when he fell out of the chair and busted his tooth?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I don't even know how young he was, but he was pretty young.
Yeah,
under
yeah.
a year,
Yeah.
under 2 years for sure.
Yeah, I don't know
He
when you
leaned
get
back.
teeth.
Yeah,
I
I know.
all that.
Well, he leaned back on this chair and like face planted, and then he looked up and his bottom tooth was like sticking forward.
Straight out. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was, and I don't do well with stuff like that.
Blood everywhere.
Oh, blood gashing from his mouth. I just remember I think I covered my finger with a sweatshirt, and then like bent his tooth back.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
I remember
perfectly fine.
I called the dentist and I was like, "This happened." They're like, "Oh well, bring." I'm like, they're like, "Bring the tooth," and I'm like, "No, like he put the tooth back in it," and they're like, "Oh, like and it's still in there," and they're like, "Well, if it's come out in the next couple of days, like bring it in," and like it was fine, and like looks totally normal.
Yeah,
it's like legit grew back in.
It went back slightly crooked, but it grew like straight.
Yeah,
and that was definitely a big dad win because now, like even telling the story, my stomach is turning.
Yeah, it's really
so the fact that I could like
in
do
action.
That, I definitely like switch a different gear in my mind and like execute on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or let's talk about the time when Ava almost died at the park when she got hit by the tire swing. There's nothing we could do about that, but
yeah, Ava's body literally thrown. One of our cousins like was pushing another cousin, and it hit the swing, hit her and just launched her like 15 feet up in the air. Us parents are just saying they were too far away to do anything. I just am like, oh my gosh. And
like, it was about to be bad.
And her cousin is like, is that 9? I think he's 9. Reached out in like midair, snatched her, like grabbed her with one hand and the other hand, and legit like she was like inches away from just like destroying her whole front side of her body, and like slowly lowered her down to the ground. She like came away. She like had a little bruise on her back from where the swing hit her, but not a scrape. It was like,
And let me preface by saying this was an extra, extra, extra large swing
oh,
that they were pushing pretty like heavily.
oh yeah, she would have been wrecked.
And the swing went back, and she thought she could like sprint across, and so she was literally sprinting as fast as she could, and the swing hits her, and just carries momentum. And when the swing made contact, I swear the back of her head and her heels touched
Oh,
because it like bent her body in half,
it's like a total rag doll.
and it was about to send her 30 yards.
Yeah.
If he didn't grab her, it was, and like his hand-eye timing reaction was like milliseconds, because
Yeah.
he was standing there pushing the swing,
Yeah.
and then took one step and reached up and snatched her.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a great athlete.
Yeah, seriously.
That's all I can think about. Like he's
Yeah.
yeah, when he gets to like to a full grown, he's gonna be
Yeah.
a great athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy.
He's gonna be my pickleball partner. Dink dink. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. This is so much fun.
Yes.
We gotta figure out a way to do this whole guest thing, so I want to get some people.
I
on here.
know. We could just like legit have a season of like mom and dad wins and fails.
Yeah.
That would be so funny to hear other people's like, oh shit moment.
Called the Oh Shit Podcast.
Yeah. No, it would be called Get Your Blue Back Podcast.
Hey, get your blue back. I'm gonna start a little Instagram video series.
I like,
Step 1 to get your blue back.
what would it be?
Workout.
Mm.
Workout in cold tub. Do some hard stuff.
Mm-hmm. So the
I
hard
actually got a
stuff.
whole list, honestly.
All right.
Workout, cold tub, stop drinking,
Mm.
spirituality, with some isolation.
I do actually wonder how much of getting my pink back was me cutting my relationship off with alcohol.
Now you're vibing pink.
Or is it my skincare routine?
Oh, there's something.
All right.
Let me end this episode. All right, Hustle Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We out.
Peace.